It is the start of a new month, so that means it's time for a book haul! Yay! Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do my May book haul, and I'm really excited because while there may be 16 books in this book haul, I've read all of them except for 2. I don't know what happened, but that's the way it's worked out, and I'm so excited. Granted, 2 of these books I have multiple copies of in this same book haul, but that's okay. So I'm going to break this up into categories. I'm not going to talk too much about these because most of them I have read, and they will be either in previously featured weekly wrap-ups or coming in the last wrap-up for May, I think. We'll do brief synopsises, maybe like 3 words. I don't know, let's try this. I'm going to get the obvious ones out of the way, and I'm going to start off with A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. This one came in my YA Chronicles Aquawars box. This is the paperback version. This is one that I read and marked up terribly, and I really enjoyed this one. Everyone and their mother knows who and what and everything about this book, so I'm not going to spend any longer on it. But continuing on the Sarah J Maas trend, I may have done this. These are the hardcover editions that I found at QBD Books, and I wasn't going to get them. I actually walked past them about 5 times in 5 different shopping trips. But what eventually sold me was that the Aquawar book had artwork on the inside. Now, don't get me wrong, usually I'm not such a sucker. I don't tend to want to have multiple copies of books, but every time I walked past it, I looked at it and I thought, no, you don't need it, Steph. You've got another copy of it. You don't need this one. You're fine. You're good. Then I go home and I think about it. And I got to the point where I just couldn't stop thinking about wanting this edition of Aquawar. And then, because I'm an idiot, I can't get one hardcover version of the book. I had to get the entire trilogy. It would have been better if all of these had, you know, special edition artwork inside it, but they don't. We're fine. We'll survive. They are really pretty and they do look really nice on my shelf, and they were under $20 each, so in the grand scheme of things, that's not too bad. Yes, this is probably my most shameful purchase for the month, or as much as I can be shamed by buying books, really, which is not much. Next up are the books that I received for review, and the first one was Do Not Lick This Book by Iden Ben Barak. And it is a children's picture book all about microbes, and it is fun and cute and gorgeous, and I absolutely adored this one. I also received Girl in Between by Anna Daniels, which I think I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, and I received this book from Alan Unwin as part of a blog tour, and I really enjoyed it. Light, fun, humorous, enjoyable, what can you say? Aussie, very Aussie. I also received Lies by T.M. Logan for review, and this is a psychological thriller about a father who suddenly finds his whole life turned upside down. And this was engaging and engrossing and a tiny bit frustrating because you want to really slap the main character and tell him to stop being so naive, but I really did enjoy this one. I also received The Dark Lake by Sarah Bailey for review. This is another one that's set in Australia by an Australian author. This was a crime thriller, and it has a female detective sergeant lead character, and she is very flawed and very conflicted, and she is investigating the murder of a girl that she knew in high school who seems to have secrets of her own as well. This was just gripping. I could not put this down. I just needed to find out what was going on and what was happening, and yeah, good book. I won a copy of Losing It by Moira Burke in a Goodreads giveaway. This is another Australian young adult book set in 1980s Melbourne, which this was really quite enjoyable to read about because I recognised a lot of the places, and this will be coming out in a review very soon, so if it's up already I will link to it. I'll pick it up if you're interested in young adult Australian literature. I also received a proof copy of Patrick Ness's Release via Walker Books via Dimmicks, because Dimmicks had a thing going for their Gold Club members to receive a review copy of Release, and I'm so glad that I got it. I love this cover, it's gorgeous, and this is the second book that I have multiple copies of, and I will show you the second copy in a minute. But yes, I love this. I lie. There's actually 3 books that I have multiple copies of in this book haul. Oops. I picked up The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli this month because it is the YA Rooms book of the month, and I am planning on going to the meetup to discuss this book, and I absolutely loved it. Young adult, contemporary, full of diversity. Also, precious baby. I love Molly. I relate to Molly. I wish I'd had this book when I was Molly's age because it would have been so helpful, really, for me. I also pre-ordered a copy of Flame in the Mist by Renee Ardier, and this is the hardcover edition, and it is beautiful and gorgeous, and you know that I love this book. This is the third book that I have multiple copies of, and I feel no guilt. So then I received some of my YA Chronicles box, and I received a finished hard copy edition of Released by Patrick Ness, and I'm so glad to have this one because this is really pretty and it's going to look great on my shelf. I also received the trade paperback edition of Flame in the Mist by Renee RDA, also in a YA Chronicles unboxing, and this is going to be my borrowing copy that people can borrow and read, because I will be forcing this on people to read because I want them to read it so that I can talk about it with them. That sounds a little bit creepy, but I want people to read it, I want to discuss it. Talk to me about it below, please. And then we come to the two books that I have not read yet, but there is a distinct possibility that I will have read them by the time this video goes up, possibly. So the first one is Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde, which came in the YA Chronicles Pride box, and I've heard nothing but good things about this, even though I've really not paid attention to what it's about, because you know me, I like to read things blind. But I love the cover, I love the colour, I like the premise that I vaguely know about the main character being a vlogger going to Supercon, I think it is that what it says? Supercon. I think this is going to help me break up my June TBR, which I should have a video out for this week as well. And I also picked up Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, which everyone has raved about, and after reading The Upside of Unrequited, I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to read it, because I really loved Becky Albertelli's writing style, and I want to read it. Plus they look so pretty together. Primary colours, they don't look so pretty. I'm not going to try and pick all these books up because I tried that in a thumbnail and it nearly killed me, and they're heavy because there's a lot of hardcovers in here, and I don't normally buy hardcovers, so I don't know what happened. But I'm really happy with the books that I've read. I'm glad that I've only got 2 to read. I've got my lovely display hardcover editions, and I've got the ones that I can send out and let people enjoy as well. Let me know in the comments, have you read any of these books yet? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your opinions? Let me know. I would love to talk to you about them. What are some of the books that you picked up this month? Are there any things that came out recently that I should be reading, because I live for new releases at the minute, even though I'm trying to work my way through this TBR shelf right here. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. See you later, guys.